All right.
Ooh, subject to.
Subject to deals. Are they still illegal in Texas? What's going on?
Yeah, we went
So
to
They're never. They never
how are we
been
doing these
illegal.
deals?
It
How are we
can't be.
doing these in Texas? So how we doing them now, man?
It can't. It's not illegal. Okay, it can't be illegal for something when it's actually on a federal document, which is your HUD.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on the HUD statement that we're taking over this subject to the existing loan. Most people in Texas think that it's illegal because they start talking about the due on sale clause.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
how,
yeah.
so how do you get around the due on sale clause? Is
How
what
do you
most
get around
people.
that?
Well,
It's easy.
there ain't no way to get around it. Okay, you just be straightforward with it. What we typically do is we send a letter to the bank with the money and with a check in their arrears and say if they cash the check, then they are agreeing to us taking over the property and
Boom.
the transfer of the deed.
You know what that's called, ladies and gentlemen? Agreements to partial performance.
Say it
Okay?
again.
Agreements to partial performance.
Mm.
All right, let me tell you another thing about agreements to partial performance that Jay hit on, right? Is that people don't know, like, as long as, say, for instance, you have a closing date coming up, and on contract, it says the first of the month, right? But then you running into some problems with closing the property, and you get in contact with the sellers, and you tell them, hey, I'm not going to be able to close to the 5th. Now, I didn't know this at first, but it saved my butt in a deal. Because of that transmission has been made and accepted or received by the other party, and they do not cancel the contract when you stated that you cannot close by the 1st, they now have moved forward with agreeing to partial performance. And that alters without amendment or anything like that, agreeing to them acknowledging that they are going to close now on said 5th of the month. So just everyone, if you know those little things, then you can actually not typically, like, I'm saying you can use them because you don't want to exploit things. And of course, but you don't want to be placed in a situation that you don't understand either.
But it falls under all of it falls under the law of contract.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you know the basics, then you're fine. But like Jerrell said, don't be going around here knowing that you can do it, so you just do it all willy nilly just
Yeah.
because you think that you can. Because now you're misrepresenting yourself, and that will get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So let's say this. Then. So Jason, well, this to everybody, but no, Jason made a statement about it. You just cut the check and they cash it. It's on, right?
Yeah,
So
I just sent him a letter.
what if you don't have the funds though?
You'll find the funds.
Raise the funds.
You will find the funds. We find everything else. We can find the funds. Okay.
Absolutely.
My first deal was with a credit card, man.
Yeah. Math finance.
My first subject too. I did it with a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you find the deal, the money will come.
The banks are not in the business of taking back property.
No.
They're in the business of lending. So the more that they have a property, right, that's on their books, they're ready to get rid of it. They cannot lend. Them holding property excludes them from lending 10 times, 3 times more.
Okay.
All right, out. So if they don't care, as long as that payment is paid, they don't care. A lot of them don't trigger the due on sale clause. But if there is a situation, then there's different ways in order to do that, right? But again, the banks are not in the business of taking property at all.
It says may.
What?
It says may exercise their option to do on sale.
I've never seen that happen before, actually. I've heard
the reason why
I've never even seen it happen.
I've only seen it happen once, but it wasn't me, but I've only seen it happen once, Jerrell. But that was before everything happened in 2008.
Yeah.
That was before everything happened in 2008. Yeah. Now, after that, and Dodd-Frank, the SAFE Act, and all of that stuff happened. Okay, now the banks have to give permission in order to do that.
Yeah.
So because of the insurance that they have on these policy on these loans. They have to get permission to do it. They don't want to go through the trouble of all of that. So, well, let's take the money because we got to account for our shareholders. Here it is.
Now
That's
can be
why.
transparent.
Right. That's why I
So-
send the letter. That's why I send the letter with the check, certified. Somebody got it. Somebody read it. You cashed my check. Because if not, it says void and send back to me. If you do not agree with this, void and send the check back to me. They don't ever send that check back.
Yeah. So we talk about the due on sale clause, but what about the alienation clause, right? So technically, based on the contract that we signed when you're doing a mortgage, if you move from that place, they can actually accelerate the loan, right? But like you say, they never will really do that. As long as they continue to get paid, there's no reason why they're gonna even look at to see who's paying it. It's getting paid. It is a positive. What they call it. It is a good asset, right?
It's a
Basically, you say.
performing asset. is
Performing
what it is.
asset. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
So,
It's a
so,
performing
so
asset.
typically what's going to happen, depending on the type of underlying first mortgage you're dealing with, if it does have certain owner occupancy requirements, those are the ones that might likely be selected for a due on sale clause. Conventional loans, not so much. And whether it be a FHA, VA, or conventional loans, most of those are going to require owner occupancy only for the first year. After that, they don't have that requirement on it, unless it's a specialty type of loan, like the ones that I get, during my day job, and we lend money out to veterans here in the state. It requires owner occupancy for the life of the loan, and so if we do get one of these type of things, we go after them, but generally it resolves itself before we get too far down the road. But that's kind of the key. What usually triggers a bank to kind of get goosey about that is when an insurance policy comes in and it's got a different name of the insured on it. So one of the things you'll want to make sure is that you don't change the name of the insured, who is the original borrower of that loan, but add your name as the insured. And have that updated and sent into the lender from the insurance company. So if there's a change of insured, that could be a trigger for the due on sale, for them acknowledging that it's been a property sale. The better thing to do is just add your name to the existing policy.
I would just put it in a
That's
trust.
a jewel.
And you know what that